Oh, okay, this is Bob. You don't sound like Bob. Anyway, I know he's busy. We've had a lot of controversial shows regarding education in this country, and you are a school teacher, or have been. Are you still teaching?
I still am, yes,
okay.
I am. Well, not this summer, but...
Not this summer, no.
Right.
You got a little time off.
I did. Well, relatively speaking.
From teaching.
Right.
Not from campaigning.
No.
Well, being a teacher in the public school system, you see a lot. Mm-hmm. And like I said, we've had a lot of shows regarding that, and we have lots of concerns. I have family that are school teachers, and I know we have good school teachers. I also know that our government's got their nose into everything and is keeping the teachers from doing what they do well, and that's actually teach our children. And I just kind of wanted your opinion a little bit on that. I don't want you to try and jeopardize your job in any way.
Well, I tell you what, I'll start off with a story. I've taught 5th, 6th, 7th, and 8th grade, and let's see, it's probably been 15 years ago. I started teaching 1st grade. And I taught 1st grade for a number of years, and then I got very interested in early childhood literacy and literacy basically in general. Because when you teach 1st grade, you are really where the rubber meets the road when kids are learning to read. And so I became interested in that, and I became trained as a reading recovery teacher, and I'm sure a lot of your listeners will have either had children in reading recovery or they know about reading recovery, but it's a very successful program that was started in New Zealand by a lady named Mari Clay, and she was a remedial reading teacher, and she continued to have the same kids over and over and over and over in her remedial reading class, and she was discouraged about that, like they should be getting out of this now. And she researched it and did a lot of studies and things over the last, 10, 20 years. And she came up with this program called Reading Recovery. And so it is a program that is just with basically with teaching 1st grade students one-on-one that are struggling to read. And here's where my story is. I had this one little guy, bless his heart, and a cute little guy, and so I had him one-on-one, and we were doing our reading lesson, and he wasn't really all that excited about learning how to read, and so I thought, I'm going to have to really have a little discussion with him. And so we stopped our lesson, and I said, now, sweetie, when you grow up, you have to learn how to read. You have to be able to read because then you can get a job, and then you can buy video games, and you can buy a car, and you can buy different things that you want. And Beth, he looked at me, and he said this to me, I'm going to get my check in the mail. Now, we're talking about a 6 or 7-year-old at that time. Mm. My whole world flipped. I could not believe that this little boy had verbalized that he was going to get his check in the mail. And I was so upset, not at him.
No.
My goodness. I was upset that we as a society had absolutely stolen his talents, his gifts, his ability to be beneficial to us as a society. And at that point, I really became an advocate of we must get these children educated and reading so that they can be productive citizens. So I, from then on, now I've become very interested in how do we get children in households that don't have books and things like that in their house. How do we get books to these kids from the time they're 1 month old, 2 months old? That's when you start reading to children. You put them in your lap, you get a book in front of you that has big pictures on it, and you begin to read to those little little ones. And so I became involved in a program called the Dolly Parton Imagination Library. And it's a program that's all over the United States, actually all over the world, that your community, you fundraise in your community, and it provides books to children who sign up for the program. From the time they're born until the time they're 5 years old, they receive a book in the mail every month, free of charge to them. It doesn't matter what socioeconomic level you're at. Anybody can sign up. And so we started doing that, and that's an exciting thing to me. I tell you, the frustrating thing about education now that I see is with the No Child Left Behind, it started this process of testing our children. Now, you know, testing, some kids test really well, some kids just don't test, you know, like all of us. I wasn't that great of a tester myself.
No. I
knew
sick.
the information, but to get it all down in a timed test, you know, that's when we do the best, when we're timed and under stress. And so
Especially
we
as
have
a
these
child.
tests that, you know, at the end of the year, all the kids from 3 through 5 in my little school take, and they take them all over Missouri. And we set these little guys down that day. You know, who knows? Who knows what happened to them that morning? Did they have breakfast? You know, what's going on? Maybe they just don't want to take a test that day, you know? And we set them down and we say, okay, you're gonna take this test in 55 minutes, and you're going to do the best that you can on it, and you're going to just prove that our school's the very, very best. Okay, most kids are going to do that. But you've got some kids that could, you know, they don't care. You know, they just mark the little circles down and, you know, here, I did it. And so anyway, you get the results back, and that reflects on your school. And so starting No Child Left Behind, you had to have so much of a percentage, like 60%. Let's say 60%. I'm not going to quote that, but let's just say 60% back 3 or 4 years ago, that all of your students had to be in proficient or advanced levels. There's below basic, proficient, and advanced levels that they're categorized in. And then the next year, you have to have, let's say, 65% of all of your kids in proficient and advanced. The next year, you have to have 72% of your students in proficient and advanced. And in 2014, coming up next year, 100% of your kids have to be in proficient and advanced levels. Now, as a school teacher in the trenches, you're going to know that you're not going to get 100% of your children in proficient and advanced. So, you know, you can bring a lot of them up. I mean, you may get 93% of them in a proficient and advanced. But you're not going to get 100% of them in proficient and advanced, because we're not all proficient and advanced. Some of us are basic, some of us are below basic, and we can still be productive citizens. So that's frustrating as a teacher, to have a goal out in front of you that is basically unattainable.
We are going into a break here, Karen, and we will be right back.
Okay.
I care about you as a customer, and they care about the health of your livestock. Hamby Dairy Supply is ready to answer any and all of your questions. Hamby Dairy Supply strives to meet all the needs of their customers. Your dairy herd needs from day to day, as well as when those unexpected emergencies come up. No matter your dairy needs, Hamby Dairy Supply will do their best and use their experience to help make you successful, helping you care for your animals. Contact Hamby Dairy Supply today at www.hambydairysupply.com. That's HAMBY dairysupply.com, or give them a call and tell them Beth Ann sent you at 1-800-306-8937. That's 1-800-306-8937.
SwissAmerica.com reports gold prices rebounded towards $1,600 an ounce Friday on bargain hunting and a weaker dollar. Gold last traded at $1,589 an ounce, silver $27.31. U.S. producer prices unexpectedly rose 0.1% in June despite big drops in energy. According to Craig Smith, the Fed's weak dollar policy is boosting stocks and gold. Because 2012 is an election year, you can expect the Fed to be very accommodating to a weaker dollar, future quantitative easings to keep the stock market levels conducive to the current administration's re-election, says Smith. Don't think for a moment the Fed is politically neutral. It's not, never has been. All of this bodes well for gold, which is why Merrill Lynch is predicting $2,000 an ounce by the year end. Smith says that may be conservative. Read more about it at SwissAmerica.com. You can also read about Obamonomics, the final nail in the discredited Keynesian coffin from Forbes. Get your copy of The Future of Money. Call 800-289-2646. 800-289-2646.
Hear ye, hear ye. The Pen is here. Hot off the presses each month. The Pen is the official monthly newsletter for CSC Talk Radio. Beth Ann and friends have packed it with information you won't read in the paper from the corner newsstand. News, opinions, and insights, all packed into this economical read. Just $24.95 will buy you 12 monthly issues. You heard correctly. 1 year of news for only $24.95. Common sense is what we speak, and that's also what we write. The Pen is a compilation of many writers. We know you're going to enjoy it each month. The news these days isn't easy to digest, but it's necessary to keep informed, and that's what we at CSC Talk Radio strive to do. We want to serve our listeners in every way. Order your subscription today. Send $24.95 to P.O. Box 73, California, Missouri 65018, and request your subscription to the Pen today.
Environmental toxins, poor diet, and even exercise create ever-increasing numbers of free radicals, which add to and accelerate cellular damage for everyone of every age. We actually begin aging at birth. We call the outward signs of oxidative stress aging, but it's really a kind of internal rusting of our body that damages our cells, alters our DNA, and literally shifts our body's natural course from health to disease. Traditional antioxidants don't come close to quenching the raging fires of free radical damage. Dozens of universities around the world continue to study Protandim. 7 of these published, peer-reviewed studies have already linked Protandim to reversal of conditions including skin cancer, heart disease, and muscular dystrophy. Don't wait. Learn more. Go to my website at csctalkradio.com or call Sherry Peterson at 303-759-0317. Don't delay. Get started today. That's www.csctalkradio.com.